Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. This is the light work reading for the sign of Aquarius. Now I just want to explain the setup for this because this is my first series of light work readings for the channel. So to begin with, I will be pulling cards from the Work Your Light Oracle deck. And the reason for this is because one, they're absolutely divine to look at, and two, because they really do work with the aspects of soul missions, soul callings, guidance that you need in relation to operating from your highest aspect, from your highest self, and really bridging that connection between the ego self, the higher self, and the universe, right, and spirit. So that's why I really like using these cards. So I'm just going to get stuck in and see what we can pull for you here to give you a bit more clarity on what's happening. So, and then I'll be able to go into the tarot afterwards to give you more information. So with the first card, what I really want to uncover is what it is that you're coming away from. What is it that's not serving your purpose, right, in terms of your soul mission or what your spirit is guiding you towards. So it could be that it comes up with an aspect that you're being guided to, but there'll be some aspect in relation to that you're moving away from. So that's what I want to know initially. So what is the case for Aquarius? Okay. It says, trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Okay. So I'm just going to read from the booklet so you have more information about what that card represents in the eyes of its creator. But that's really telling you that there's been some hesitancy, that you've been feeling like you're not able to do, to take action in regards to your soul mission or what your spirit is really calling for you to do. And because of that, you've kind of not gone forward to the level that you should have gone, or maybe you haven't started yet. And it's really telling you to trust that intuition that you'll be, and to trust what you're being guided towards. But I will give you more information about that in just a second. So, trust your path. The universe is conspiring. Keep facing your true north. Your job is not to pave the path, but to simply keep facing your true north and take one step after another. If you do this, you can't go wrong. The universe is conspiring. Don't waver or doubt. Use your heart as a compass and put one foot in front of the other. If you follow the invisible trail of what lights you up, you will light up the world without even trying. Most people don't follow the highest call of their soul because they are waiting to see the end destination before they take the first step. If you take one baby step each day, within a year you will have taken 365 steps in your dedicated direction. If you want to write a book, write a page every day. If you want to change careers, do one thing every day in dedication to that. Before you know it, in just a year from now, you will turn back and look in awe at how far you have journeyed. Keep moving and open yourself to a whole new level of support and receiving. Things are not going to work out the way you are planning, but if you have a little faith and keep showing up, they will work out even better than you could possibly imagine. Don't micromanage the universe. Trust your path and let your soul lead the way, okay? So that's it. It's telling you to have faith that things will move in a direction that will support you in this endeavour, right? Whatever it is, whether it's you're changing careers or you want to embark on a project, starting something new in some way. You're being compelled to do the work, whatever this work is, and we'll look into that in a moment. But you have this hesitancy because you can't see the end of the path, right? You think you have to have it all mapped out, but you don't. You just have to begin, right? So that's what it's really telling you, to just, move forward and trust that things will become clear as you go forward, okay? So let's have a look now in terms of what it is that your spirit's guiding you towards. Wow, I was trying to flick up everything just now. So there's going to be options for many of you, different ways of going about this. But what is it that you're being guided towards in general? Because your spirit is the one that's calling you to do this work, right? It's your own soul that's calling for this change in the way you do things, or what your career is, or the project that you work on is. So I want to know what that is. Okay. You got in Rama. Where are you being called to journey to? Interesting that you've got that there. So it's likely that a lot of you will travel, and that maybe you'll get into some kind of job that involves traveling a lot to certain places, maybe some sacred sites. It could be that you're being called to do some kind of documentary type work, photojournalism, photography, videography, maybe research. There could be a number of things, but I feel like with this card coming up here that it's in relation to travel, and I'll give you some more information about that just now so you understand what I mean by that. So the Celtic word Irama means a journey of the soul, a voyage in which we don't know where we are going, but our soul knows the way. If you pulled this card, you are either being called on a soul journey or already on one. It could be to a physical ancient place or metaphoric. When we journey to places that our soul remembers, a shift will take place, both within us and through the planet as well. You are being called to journey to a place that is sacred to your soul. Perhaps it is a journey to the world's sacred sites, or called to across the country. Climb a mountain, lie on a desert floor, or drink from an ancient well. There are places to see and old friends to meet. I see spontaneous pilgrimages in your future. If a physical voyage isn't possible, journey through the portal of your heart. Follow the invisible soul trail and be willing to explore. Maybe read a book or watch a movie about a sacred time or place. Or perhaps you are being called to study an ancient lineage or body of work. Whatever your circumstances, your soul is ready to journey deep. Okay? So I feel like for some of you, it will be a case of literally doing work involving travel. You will go to these sacred sites or ancient places, or places that are often overlooked, and you'll really kind of shine a light on those places. Maybe you'll do some research, blogging, photojournalism, film work, whatever it is. For others of you, I feel like you're being guided to certain places to really uncover certain information about yourself that was lost to time. Maybe something to do with your past lives. It could be something to do with your ancestors that will really help you move forward in your chosen path. For some others of you, it would be a case of this is in relation to your awakening and asking you to actually move through the realms and through your own inner abyss so that you can do the work needed there. So it will apply on different levels. Whatever resonates from all of what I just said, take that as your guide, okay? Because it's going to be different for each one of you. If that doesn't resonate at all, that's fine, then this is obviously not for you. But for those that do, take the parts that you feel like really truly speak to you and your circumstances, okay? So now what I want to do is just pull the tarot, and the initial spread will be 3 cards, and that's one to take into consideration your recent past, so what you're kind of moving out of in regards to this. Where you currently are at with it now, so you're present, and then the near future, where you'll be headed in regards to this work. Okay, so I'll be using the Wild Unknown Tarot to do that, and then once I've got all the spread out, I'll do the clarifications using my intuitive pack. Okay, so in the recent past, you've got the Tower. So So that means, yeah, you're literally having to rebuild from scratch. So I feel like it will be a complete change in direction in terms of your work. That whatever you were working on previously, you are not going to be doing that anymore. It's moving you in a completely new direction. It may be that you end up, like, if some of you are going to be doing this traveling, quite extensive traveling, I feel like some of you will give up your apartments or your houses or wherever you're living. So you may find that you end up selling a lot of your belongings to do this. So you're not tied to any one place for too long. I feel like for some of you, you're literally just changing your circumstances so that you're able to do this work and you're not having the pressures of, your other work preventing you from doing that. But I feel like for a lot of you, it will be a significant change with that tower energy. It's going to be like a completely, new start. So you're having to get rid of a lot of things. Could be belongings. It could be you're just completely changing career paths, which is likely for many of you. I feel like for some of you, those that are going to be traveling quite extensively, you'll also give up your current residence and a lot of your belongings. So that's maybe some of you, because this is your recent past, some of you had this realization and you're already doing that now. You're already in the process of getting rid of a lot of stuff and sorting out contracts and things like that. Some of you will be literally handing in your notice. You've probably already done it, or you're at least writing your notice now, and you're going to be handing that in very soon. Yeah, interesting. So let's have a look at the present then, because I will clarify this afterwards. So where are you at currently with all this, Aquarius? Okay, 3 swords in the upright. So I feel like there's a conflict of interest here. It could be that you're worried about how that's going to impact you, in terms of maybe you're standing with those closest to you. Maybe you've kind of explained what you're having to do to those closest to you and they don't understand why you're doing it. Or maybe you've come out of a field where you were highly respected and you feel like this is kind of going to impede on your reputation that you've built, which I don't think is going to be the case at all, but that could be a concern for you. Maybe there's some conflict in your household about this decision. It could be this is just how you're feeling in general right now, that you're having to make so many big decisions that you just don't know what to do. It's essentially, you just don't know up from down anymore, because you just feel like you're just getting rid of everything, that you're losing everything to hopefully gain something. But you have to, as it says, trust in your path. You have to trust in the fact that you're being supported in this journey, that you're being guided intentionally, and the universe has your back. Yes, it is terrifying. I feel like this is real anxiety in the situation for some of you, because you're just giving up all this stuff. You're kind of doing all this purging and, just letting go of things. And you're like, what if I don't gain anything from this, right? I feel like that's going to be the energy for quite a few of you. Like, I'm giving all this up to hopefully gain something more. What if that doesn't happen? But I think you'll find that over time you will see that. You will see that there was a purpose and that actually this serves you much better than staying where you were. Okay? So let's have a look then in terms of your near future. Okay. So you have the 5 of Wands in the upright. So you really have to change how you perceive your circumstances. because I feel like you're still going to be coming from a place of loss and lack, when that's not actually the case. It's just that you cannot do this work with these things tying you down, so you have to let go of that. You have to let go of certain aspects of your old life, because it's not going to align with where you're headed. That may also mean that you're going to lose connection with some people, but that's just how it is, you know, life does that. You know, often there's certain connections that come in and leave at specific times because they've already served the purpose in the greater scheme of things. You know, and people have their own paths as well, so you have to be okay with that. But I feel like you kind of, it's like you have a lot of dismantling to do right now and in the near future. You know, that before you take up this journey, I feel like you have to really just clear any baggage that you have in terms of what could be tying you down to prevent you from actually going off on this journey. So you really have to take care of all matters, you know, in that regard. And also, it can be that even with yourself, you have to kind of know that there's always an element of risk involved in the creation of something new. And in that, you have to kind of be willing to give up something as well. And just trust that the universe has your back, you know, that it all will come right in the end. And there is going to be challenges, but you know, that doesn't mean you don't have the means to overcome them, right? You just have to really use your problem-solving skills and, you know, think outside the box to address those issues. So now what I'm doing is pulling the card for the message to help you unify the sense of self, right? So that's in terms of your light and shadow aspects, because we all have those two aspects, but because of the way it's portrayed often, we see them as, you know, warring sides of ourselves, when actually they are two poles on the same scale. And it's a case of, if we can find unity between those two forces and harmonize them, then actually we'll be operating from our highest sense of self. We'll be operating, you know, from our higher aspects, right? So that's really the goal, right? So that's what I'm putting for you. And you got the Judgment card in the upright. So I feel like really dig deep and go into that space of inner knowing, and then you'll feel why this is right for you. You won't question it anymore. The anxiety you have surrounding this will go, because it'll just resonate deep within you, and you'll just know that it's right. There'll be no question about it anymore. Okay? So that's really important, that you connect with your higher self, and it will help you to see why it is that this journey had to happen, right? And why you had to let go of those things that don't serve the purpose. And then rather than operating from a place of fear and anxiety and distrust, you'll be operating from a space of excitement, joy and trust, right? So let's have a look then in terms of what is the message for unifying with others, so how you can connect with others on this journey. Because that's really important as well. We're not islands, right? We need our connection with others, so we need to discover how we can best create that connection with like minds and people that we're going to cross paths with, right? Because there's always these intersections and meeting points on any journey. So that's why it's important to know what we can do to make that you know, as positive as possible, or as serving to the overall purpose as possible. Okay, So you have the the Ace of Cups in the upright. So you're going to have to really connect with people on an emotional level, right? You need to put your best foot forward, right? See what others are doing, what brought them there, what their story is. See how you can identify with that and how they've been feeling. Maybe they're going through a similar journey, right? And then you can relate to each other on an empathic level, right? Because that's going to be really important as well. Because you know what it feels to kind of just, cut your losses or just like leave everything behind in the search of something new and better. There's going to be others that you come across that have done similar things, maybe for a different reason in different ways, but they've had to do something similar themselves, right? So you'll have the opportunity to really connect with people who are on your same wavelength, that are going through something similar. And you'll be able to offer support to each other, which is really nice. Everyone needs that, so that's really good. And now let's have a look at your overall energy. I mean, I know there's a lot of change and destruction and just anxiety and seeming chaos in this reading, but that's kind of illusionary. It seems that way and it comes across that way initially because there's certain things that need to be removed from your life. But then once you go down this path and you start having these really positive connections with like minds, you'll start to feel very differently about it. Like you'll feel really good and like just inspired to keep moving forward, right? Exactly. Ace of Wands in reverse. So this is absolutely necessary so that it lines you to that place, so that you come from a place of knowing and having faith and trust, rather than feeling like you've lost all control of your life and this is a mistake, right? Because I feel like you're kind of questioning whether or not that's going to be the case, but it won't be, by placing this trust in your intuition, in what your spirit's calling you to do, and in the universe, that you will see the purpose. It will become abundantly clear as you move closer towards the goal, right? So that's great. That's something to be very excited about, actually. Like, it's okay to be a bit fearful and a bit nervous, but you should be very excited. There's some incredible connections coming your way, and there's some really unbelievable experiences. I think you're going to have some moments where you are just like, wow, like I can't believe this is my life. Like, look at all this cool stuff that's happening, what I've learned and what I've discovered and experienced, right? You're going to have some really profound experiences that really open your eyes as well, I think. So to clarify the Tower card, you've got the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, I mean, your physical circumstances, so where you're living, the work that you're currently doing, all of that jazz is not serving the purpose. So that's why you're kind of having to start with a clean slate, pretty much. You're having to let all of that go so that you can really go off and do this work. It's not possible in your current circumstances, so that's why you're having to just get rid of everything. But that's going to help you to align and to move forward, right? So it's necessary. It just had to happen. Yeah, you've got the Justice card come up there. So, yeah, have faith that it's all for the, for the best, and you will see that, The universe will provide proof of that. You're not just having to rely on blind faith the whole time. There will be evidence of that. Sorry, there's a little fly in here. He keeps coming in. I don't know why. He won't go away. Go on, go there. Go away. I don't want to kill it or hurt it, but I just want it to go away. Yeah. Sorry, but he's just really annoying. Yeah, so it's just a case of, trust that you will see the reasoning behind it, Don't allow your mistrust and your self-doubt to stop you from moving forward, because you will see why it needs to happen. There will be positive consequences, okay? And let's go to your current situation then, with the Three of Swords in the upright, and clarify that for you. So you have the Four of Swords in the upright. So that's interesting. That's what's crossing the Three of Swords. So yeah, I mean, your anxieties, even though they are they're not unreasonable, they're not necessary, because this is all part of the process. Okay, this is what's going to allow you to really move forward. So you need to try and look at this from a more objective viewpoint, and just really calm your inner worries down, because it's just not going to do you any good. It's just going to stress you out and make you feel quite unwell if you allow it to plague your mind too much. So it's important that you kind of balance yourself out, you know, do some meditation, that will help, you know, breathe, and just use your logic when it comes to this. Look at it objectively, right? It's like, you know, what's the alternative? That you continue doing what you're doing and end up really miserable because you're not doing what you feel like you should be doing, right? So, you know, really think about that clearly and try and pan out from your subjective point of view, and look at it as if you were from, like, you were discussing it with someone else, right? And then it will become clear why your circumstances had to change, because no growth can come from this sitting in this comfort zone. And this is what it's preparing you for. It's preparing you for a journey where you will really grow, and you will learn so much about the world and yourself and your connection to it. You know? So it's really important. So let's have a look then at the Five of Wands. So there you go, Devil in reverse. Okay, Devil card in reverse. So it's really knowing that those feelings that you have, that those negative feelings of being lost and losing everything, and feeling disconnected from everyone in your life, is illusionary. Like that's literally just life removing things that are not going to help you with this path. Yeah. So don't obsess over that, because if you obsess over that, you give it so much of your energy, and then you have none left to be excited, right? You have to trust that it's in your best good, right? It's for the best for you. It's in your best interest. There you go. Got there eventually. Trust that it's in your best interest that these things go, and you'll see that, right? You will feel the fulfillment that comes from this journey, but only if you allow yourself to embark on that adventure. Okay. So you really be mindful of where you place your energy right now, because otherwise, if you start looking at this really like negatively, then that's going to lead to all sorts of undesirable consequences in terms of your actions, the thoughts you have, and you know what you tell yourself, and then how that manifests in your life while you're trying to do this work. So really be mindful of that you don't allow this purging that you're doing to leave you feeling like you have nothing, because actually it's freeing up space so you can gain so much more. So let's have a look at the Judgment card then. So with the Hermit in reverse, go within, right? As it's telling you with the Judgment card, that the answers are all within you. If you go within and trust in this solo journey that you're partaking in, that knowing will really come to you, and you will gain so much knowledge and wisdom, okay? Inner wisdom that will guide you, and you'll just know why you're doing this. The path will start to become clearer. Okay. Right now, you are being asked a leap of faith, and I know it's a lot to ask, especially because you're having to give up so much. And that's why I feel like there are going to be people questioning your decision, which may feed into that self-doubt and feeling of loss. But you really have to filter that out, and you know, go deep within to really feel that sense of inner knowing. So do that, because it's really going to help you overcome this anxiety and stress that you're going to be feeling if you aren't already feeling it quite a lot now. And what about the Ace of Cups then? Because this is a really strong positive energy in regards to how your connection will be with those that you come across on this path. Okay, you've got the Four of Cups in reverse. So I feel like, again, that you're being forced out of your comfort zone, so that's going to make you feel very uneasy and unbalanced, but you'll connect with other people that are also in that position, and then that's when you'll feel inspired, and that actually you'll feel more alive than you have done in a long time, right? You'll be exhilarated, you know, because it's the unknown and you're kind of taking a chance, and every day becomes exciting, because rather than being in this routine that you've been in for so long, everything's new. You're looking at the world with new eyes, right? So even though it will make you feel a bit anxious still, and you will feel like you're being forced out of your comfort zone, it's actually what's going to make you feel alive again. Okay? And then just to clarify the Ace of Wands in reverse, you've got the Tower in reverse. Not the Tower card, right? So this is huge changes, monumental. This is life-changing stuff, right? And it's so that you can really uncover more about yourself. As much as you're exploring out in the world, you're also doing a lot of soul searching within. And that's why it's so important that you begin, right? So that you can manifest your true will, so that you can come from an aligned place of being and really feel like that actually life is working in your favor, as opposed to kind of adapting around life and circumstances and what's being asked of you, okay? So that's why it had to come to an end, you know, certain aspects of your life in this way, so that it can realign you with this path that lays before you, okay? So don't be afraid with all this, like, really, even though it's like intense energy and there's a lot of changes and you're going to be all over the place for a little while, trust that it is in your best, you know, interest, because it is, right? And it's going to bring you that fulfillment and that joy and that sense of adventure. You know, I feel like this is kind of like Indiana Jones energy, right? Yeah, like an Indiana Jones vibe to it. You know, that you're going to be the explorer, right? You're going to be exploring yourself and the world around you. That you're going to uncover all these amazing facts and interesting things that gets overlooked. You're going to shine a light on things that often gets overlooked. You know, it's really an exciting time in your life, you know, to be embarking on this adventure, right? It's definitely an adventure of some sort, whether you're physically going out into the world or, you know, you're exploring your inner world. In some ways, you're going on a huge adventure that's going to change your life. And I feel like it's really important that you kind of really embody that adventurous spirit, try and conjure that up within yourself, because it's there, and I know you feel it, and you probably feel that resonating right now. So really tap into that, because that's also going to help you overcome any anxiety you have over the situation. Okay, so I hope that was helpful, Aquarius. Like, honestly, I think this is an incredible read. Like, I love the energy. I can just see you now just wading through the jungle and just getting these, you know, incredible pictures and things like that. But, like, honestly, I think you're going to have many stories to tell, especially as you grow old. So just enjoy the ride. And yeah, if this resonates, do leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. Do leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to subscribe, because there will be new videos coming up very soon. More in the line of general reads rather than light work reads that will be coming up in the future. So thank you again for watching, and I will speak to you guys very soon.